Hey, my Liptons. So, I wanted to do this video because, if, as you guys know, if you guys are, have been watching, I put up a poll on my channel, I think a couple of days ago, and I was saying, what should I do first? Should I do Padmavat or should I do Gangubai movie reviews? So, you guys said Padmavati first, so I did Padmavat um, movie review on my channel. So, that video is up. Go look at it, go give it a like. That's also another Sanjay Leela Bansali movie, and this is also a Sanjay Leela Bansali movie as well. It is called Gangubai, and um it stars Alia Bhatt as the actress who plays this woman. Now, before I even get to it, before I even get to the movie review and everything like that, let me just say this, right? So this is a Sanjay Leela Bansali movie, right? It came from his studio. He's the director. He's the one that put this out. You already know how I feel about Sanjay Leela Bhansali. I feel like he's a hit maker. He knows how to put out a hit. He knows how to put out good content. And I would say almost most of Sanjay Leela Bhansali films, I liked almost everything of his, okay? There can be some tweaks here and there, especially when it comes to the music, but overall, I would say like Sanjay Leela Bhansali knows how to make a hit and knows how to make a star. And I said that for my Padmavat review when it came to Ranveer Singh's performance, and I see that here for Alia Bhatt's performance. Now, let me just say this about Alia Bhatt. At first, I'm sorry, y'all, I was not convinced about her. And I'm not talking about the movie, I'm just talking about her as an actress. Before I saw this movie, I was like, you know what, this is an Ali Abad movie. I'm not really a fan of her. I feel like she's just like another nepotistic kid that got this position, like because of who her father was, and who she's dating and who she's married to. It was just like I'm not really interested. And plus, like I remember when she first came onto the scene, they really, really pushed Alia Bhatt to be like the next Kareena Kapoor in a way. So I felt like she didn't have her own identity at that time when she was, when she was put onto the scene. So they're pushing her as like another young Kareena Kapoor kind of vibe. They especially Karan Johar just loves like at this point. At this point, you might as well, and excuse my language from what I'm about to say, but Karan Johar just be blowing Alia Bhatt's balls like at every turn, just gassing her up, gassing her up, gassing her up. And I'm just like, bro, like, first of all, it's no shade. It's no shade, it's no shade, it's no shade. I have to be honest. Alia Bhatt was just basic to me. She was basic. So I was just like, what is the hype about this girl that Karan Johar just stays blowing her this in this manner? You would think that, Karan Johar was like a freaking doormat for the way he just like kept uplifting this girl, thinking that she was so talented and she's so this and she's so that. And I'm like, I don't know. She kind of gives me like basic Betty tease. Like, I don't know. So I wasn't really a fan of her. Didn't really watch her films. I wasn't too interested in what she had to do and what she had to say. However, I did hear of Gangubai, right? And at first I was like, I'm like, Sanjay, you could have worked with anybody. And also, let me just throw a little bit of shade. Let me just throw a little bit of shade. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna lie to you. I know Kareena Kapoor was pissed. She had to be low key annoyed that the fact that Sanjay Leela Bansali ended up giving Alia Bhatt a role before her. Because if y'all guys don't know, Kareena Kapoor and Sanjay Leela Bansali, they kind of had like a little bit of like a fallout because she said, according to Kareena Kapoor, she said that Sanjay Leela Bansali was supposed to give her the part in Devdas, Paro's role, but instead it went to Aishwarya Rai. So ever since then, Kareena Kapoor has been feeling some type of way, saying that, oh, Sanjay Leela Bhansali, he didn't want to cast me, da 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 da. So now, if you think about it, here comes this girl who they're pushing as like another Kareena Kapoor. You know what I mean? And here comes Sanjay Leela Bhansali giving Alia Bhatt a role, a position in his movies, and Kareena Kapoor knows that Sanjay Leela Bhansali's movies is always a hit. So I know Kareena Kapoor must have felt some type of way. She definitely felt some type of way when she heard about this. She was been tight. Like, first of all, y'all got this girl trying to replace me, and here Sanjay Leela Bhansali goes giving her a position, and now, Alia Bhatt is now married to Kareena Kapoor's cousin. That's just little things like that, Okay, but let me go into the film. So, at first I wasn't interested, but then I got bored, and I was like, you know what? At this point I've watched Devdas, I've watched, Guzarish, I've watched Padmavat, I've watched Bajro Mastani, I've watched Ramlila. I practically watch a good amount of, Sanjay Leela Bhansali films, and those are all Sanjay Leela Bhansali films, and I like them. So I was like, let me just give Gangubai a chance. Let me just give it a chance. Let me just see what it gives. And let me just say this. This movie, and I don't know how Alia Bhatt is in these other films, so I can't say that she's, quote unquote, but I will say this. Alia Bhatt's acting in this movie was really good. It was really good. I felt like the emotion was there. I felt like the personality was there. Just and here's the thing. This movie is based on a real person, right? With Gangubai. And I like films like this. I like films like this because it talks about I guess you can say the non-existent, the quote unquote non-existent in the eyes of the law, but they're still here, basically. And I mean that when I'm speaking about, prostitution, sex work, human trafficking, that sort of thing, right? And I think that it's such an open secret, and it's like, it's within our society, has been in our society for years. It's obviously criminalized. It's stigmatized and everything like that. But it's like, yet so many, people will be on the low, just like wanting the services of a sex worker and everything like that, right? So, and plus, I talked about this in a previous review about Talash. If you guys don't know, I did a review about Talash, Amir Khan's movie, and I discussed how how I felt about prostitution and the legality of it all and everything like that. So if you guys want to go watch that, it's called Talash. It's under my Bollywood playlist reviews. So yeah, this movie is based on a true person. I actually took a screenshot of what this woman was about in real life. So this Alia Bhatt, but I want to show you guys the real, like, the actual Gangubai. So this is her. Gangubai Kotewali. I think that's how you pronounce her name. So, Gangubai, she's a social activist, prostitute, madam, and obviously she did pass away. So it says here, Gangubai Harji Vandas, better known as Gangubai Kotewali. Oh, okay, whatever. I'm not, was an Indian social activist, prostitute, and madam of a brothel in Kama Tripura area of Mumbai during the 1960s. Gangubai worked for the rights of sex workers and the well-being of orphans. She gradually ended up operating her own brothel and is known to also lobbied for the rights of commercial sex workers. Okay? So she's a true person. Alia Bhatt was playing this woman. And and I do want to talk about the standout performances in this movie, but definitely Alia Bhatt is clearly one of the one of the standouts in this film. Her character, young girl. If you guys, the movie's on Netflix. If you guys want to watch it, um, so young girl, she has dreams of wanting to be a movie star, wanting to be in movies, that sort of thing. Her boyfriend, who is a piece of shit, I mean, he pretends to like love her and do all these different things. He convinces her to leave her parents' house and let's go to I don't know, Mumbai or Bombay or something to go and introduce herself, go to casting directors, that sort of thing, so she can be in films. So this freaking boyfriend leads her to a brothel and she doesn't even know it. Like these are to like a prostitution place. So the boyfriend ends up selling her to you know one of the madams, and I'm going to talk about the madam in this review when I talk about the standout performances. So he sells her. She ends up being sold into prostitution. She's raped. She's beaten. All different things that happen to this girl. She ends up becoming the madam of the brothel, as you guys can tell, or the don, or whatever. She changes so many people's lives in that brothel. And obviously it didn't come without some help, obviously, but she's definitely a legendary figure. And I know she was trying to decriminalize or you know make especially speaking to like the Indian government about sex workers and that sort of thing. And then she the speeches that she used to give, it's one of those things where it's like she really really wanted to protect these sex, because at the end of the day, sex workers are human beings. And I think that for so long we have dehumanized them, or look at them as commodities, when it's like, yes, they sell their bodies, whatever, but they're also human beings. They deserve rights. They deserve to be protected by the law. They don't deserve to go to jail or get beaten on, or that sort of thing. And those are things that Gangubai has faced. So I think Alia's performance as Gangubai was really really good. It kind of changed my perception of her. But I think that she but then again too, I feel like with Sanjay Leela Bansali, he knows how to make a star. I feel like that's just how he is. Because if I felt like if Sanjay Leela Bansali didn't touch Alia or didn't touch Ranveer, I don't think that I would be really too interested in them like that. But he did, and I think that I think that Alia needs to work with him more. He needs to work. She needs to work with him more. She needs to be in his films. So yeah, Alia ate that. I want to talk about other standout performances as well. Um, I want to talk about this person too. Razia Bai. So I'm not sure if Razia Bai is like a Nanook or like a trans woman, or I don't know what Razia Bai was supposed to be in this movie, but she is another, I guess you could say, madam, prostitute, that sort of thing. She was in competition with Gangubai. Even though his role in the movie was short, his one liners were good. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like I remember when Razia and Gangubai were going at it. Razia told Gangubai, because he came in, she came in, oh, I told you to come meet me, to Gangubai, and then Gangubai was like, listen, come get Razia a plate, so that she can shut the fuck up. So then Razia Bai was like, why do I need a plate when snatching my share is way more fun? She had some good one-liners. She was shady. They're both shady to each other. But I like this person's performance. I think Vijay Raj, that's his name. I liked his performance. I thought he did well in this movie too, even though it wasn't a lot. But he definitely had his role, and I appreciate that. Another person I want to talk about is Ajay Devgan. Listen, as Rahim Lala, or Rahim Lal, I think that's how they say. I also enjoyed Ajay's performance in this movie. This Rahim Lal, I don't know if he's a real person, whatever, whatever. It's men like him. Let me tell you something. And people are gonna be like, oh, he was, there's, nowadays in our society, people think that, quote unquote, at any time a man defends a woman's honor, they always call it simping, which is so ridiculous, and I think it's so stupid and toxic and everything. But Rahim really, really was just someone who you would want to have as a friend. You know what I mean? Like he's the kind of person who you want to have as a friend, to be your protector, to like be like, yo, like this person is like coming to mess me up. I need you. He's there to protect you. So he really did that for Gangubai. Like when Gangubai, I remember, like, you guys can go watch the movie. Obviously, spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. Before I talk, Gangubai in the movie, she really gets beaten up real bad by this guy who used to work for Rahim Lal in the movie. You know, and obviously Rahim didn't know too much about him because he was like, because he's the Don, so he's not focused on the lower workers. So when Gangubai comes to Rahim to tell him what's going on, Rahim took care of business when it came to that guy, and beat the ever living dog crap out of him, as he should. So I thoroughly enjoyed Ajay's performance in this movie as well. I thought that his performance as Rahim was great. I loved the fact that his character was willing to protect the honor, really, of a prostitute. So yeah, I enjoyed his character. I like him very much. I think her name is Sila Masi. I think that means Aunt Sila. Here's the thing. It's women like this, and I'm talking about the character. It's women like this is the reason why there's the like misogyny will continue to run rampant and be here, because women like this have internalized that kind of self-hatred towards other women, and her as being a woman herself, and like has allowed these the toxicity to run rampant within society. Okay, because she is a willing participant. At the end of the day, this is the woman that ended up buying Gangubai from Gangubai's shitty boyfriend. You know, she got Gangubai raped. Well, maybe listen. At this point, she might have got all of her prostitutes raped in the show, in the movie, and they just didn't say it. You know, when Gangubai was getting beaten up by that guy, what did she do? She sat there, did a bunch of nothing, laughing, kikiing around, you know. And then after, when Gangubai got beat up, and Gangubai had to go in the hospital because she was so, yo, that guy beat the ever living, like, her face and like her body was just messed up. Sina Masi's gonna go be like, oh, my child. Well, what can I say? In this profession, we're bound to, we're bound to face monsters and that sort of thing. I'm gonna pray for you. Charity, blah blah blah. And it's just like, I'm just like, girl, you really tried that. So she was just willing to sacrifice these prostitutes. And if it cost them their life, then it cost them their life. She wasn't gonna care too much about it. She wanted her money. She wanted that money. She wanted these prostitutes and all these people to make her money, and she's going on about her business. Just unsafe working conditions all over. You know. So she ran the brothel. She was the head at the brothel. She was the madam at the brothel until she passed away. So yeah, I would, as a actress, what's her name, Sima Pawa. As an actress, I thought she was great. Her character got on my nerves, pissed me off, wanted to choke the hell out of her, but it is what it is. So yeah, her performance was good. Um, yeah, were those the only standouts? Wow. Okay, so I thought I put more people, but no, I think I only put, because I thought that their performances was good. But yeah, I think that overall this movie was really, really good. I enjoyed it. I just wished And okay. And I spoke about this, and I told you I spoke about this in Talash, and I'm gonna speak about it here a little bit here. Personally, for me, like, and not personally, but I feel like taking my own values and morality aside or whatever, if I were to make the laws and that sort of thing, I think that I would legalize prostitution. I would, because legalizing prostitution helps obviously destigmatize them, but like it helps create like a sort of like protection and security for for sex workers. It does. It helps them unionize. It helps them you know be able to be like, yo, like if they were raped or if they were beaten up to the core, because that's a lot of times what these men feel like they can do. They think like, because they know that prostitution is illegal, so they feel like they can do whatever they want to do with these sex workers, and get away with it, because they know that if the prostitute were to come to report the issue, and if the police were to find out what profession they're in, they will also get arrested too, because they're prostitutes. They're within the prostitution ring, and that's also illegal. So that's why a lot of times these sex workers, these prostitutes, they keep the I guess the crimes that are done against them, hidden, and they don't talk about it, because they know that they will get in trouble for just being within the space or being labeled as a sex worker. So that's why I feel like legality standpoint, humanity standpoint, like we as a society, and I'm talking about across the board, like whether that be in India, United States, or whatever, it needs to, this needs to be legalized at this point. It needs to be legalized. It needs to be destigmatized, and these people need protection. They need protection. Girls that are sold into prostitution, like, because at the end of the day, it also helps within catching these quote unquote, like, pimps who force these girls into prostitution. It helps us, it helps, I said us, oh my god, it helps them you know get these freaking perverted pimps who are willing to sell these girls for a couple of racks or a couple of whatever. Get them out of here too, so that so I think that this topic is really, really, it takes a while to digest, I would say, when it comes to like the topic of prostitution and sex, because as like if you guys look at my other channel, my other video, you guys will know that I expressed how, like, in the beginning, like, I was kind of like, I was very much so against legalizing prostitution. I was like, oh, what? Why would you want to be a prostitute? Like, it's like, why would you want to be a sex worker? Like, it's like, I didn't think of, I personally, for me, I didn't think of it as a job. But there's some women who obviously who aren't, sold into prostitution, or didn't have anything negative happen to them to lead them to this path. There's just some women that go into that profession, you know, that want to do it and make money from doing it. And I think that, you know, we need to be able to see all sides of this situation. You know, we need to be able to see all sides of it. And I think that a lot of the times when we continue to, when it comes to sex work and that sort of thing, I think that us, like, criminalizing it, and as across all societies, and making sure that these prostitutes are just lower, quote unquote, lower the barrel, it fosters a lot of inhumanity, especially like a lot of criminals in general. Like, if you think about, like, the Times Square killer, and so many serial killers who go after particularly sex workers, prostitutes on the street, is like they target the most vulnerable communities, because they know that the system would never protect them. you know and I think that we really, really need to change that. We really do. I'm sorry, like, if that means legalizing sex work, prostitution, to protect these women, to protect the people that go into it, then so be it. We're gonna have to legalize it. We're gonna have to make sure that these people are protected because they're citizens too. You know, they're taxpayers. They pay their taxes too. They have children too. They have families. So I think that we really need to look at it from that standpoint. Either way, I enjoyed this movie. You guys should go watch the movie. It's called Gangubai. Um, and it starts Ali Abad. But please tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. If you guys watch Gangubai, you guys gonna watch it? Let's see. Do you guys agree with me when it comes to my stance of legalizing prostitution, sex work? How do you guys feel about that? How do you guys feel about the performances in this movie? Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.